Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Joy Fay and today I'm going to share with you again something a little bit different. So many students say to me that they can't draw, and I do understand this. I'm actually dyslexic, so I have always found it difficult to draw something accurately because as a dyslexic I tend to go back to front. So if something's going right, I tend to go left. So I had to find a way to learn to draw with a different process. And it's that's made all the difference. I'm going to break things down so you can really understand how you can naturally draw, which is in all of us, whether you're dyslexic or you feel you can't draw at all. It really will help you understand how to structure your drawings and actually indeed your paintings. And if you stay to the end, you'll see really how magical it is, and through a very, very simple process, which I'm going to share with you. So without further ado, let's get started.
Okay, so what we're going to imagine is that our pencil is an extension of our arm. So we're not going to be very tight using our wrists. We're going to use our whole arm to make our drawing. So I just want you to free draw as if you're just kind of dancing around the paper. You can sort of move your body if you like. Just see what happens if you just allow the pencil to move on the paper. Very, very simple. As simple as that. And you feel nice and relaxed, and you'll notice that you'll get some very interesting things that are going on in that drawing. But we're going to come back to that in a minute. So the next one we're going to do is actually think about the structure of a drawing. And basically we have three basic shapes, which are the square, the circle and the triangle. So from those three shapes comes everything else. They're all derivatives of, be they cylinders, rectangles, curves. This is really the structure of any drawing, are the squares, the circles and the triangles. And then when you think about the line really is just a series of dots. So when we think about this, we just really bring it down to basics, and it's very interesting how this will start to play out. Now then, if we then take with the next drawing just the idea that we're going to draw everything on a square, so we're not going to have any circles or curves in this drawing. So again, very simple, using the whole arm. What that does is really help us to connect to the right side, the creative side of our brain. So I'm just going to do everything in squares. Now these can be big, they can be small, they can be whatever you want them to be. But again, it's just relaxed. Remember to breathe. And you're just going to allow your pen to move just in lines and squares. And you'll come up again with some very interesting shapes. So you can probably feel when you're doing that how you're concentrating, but you're concentrating in a creative way, which is the key to all of it. So now the next one is we're going to do everything in circles. So again, keep the arm really loose as if you're really moving your whole body into it. And we're just going to do circles. And again, small ones, big ones. Let it just move around the paper, however it goes. And for me, I'm into my circles, but it's a lovely feeling. I just want you to kind of get hold of that feeling of just relaxing into it. As simple as that. And again, interesting things can develop from that. Again, we'll come to it later. So the next one now is for triangles. So just again, allow it to happen. So see what's going to happen with the triangles. And you'll notice that maybe your brain is telling you to do a circle. But I just want you to concentrate on the triangle. Okay, so we've now got some very interesting, if you like, abstract drawings that we can play with later. So finally, what we're going to do on the next one is again come back to our free drawing, but with those shapes in mind. So you are not just random, you're going to let yourself move and have some of those shapes in the drawing. So it could be anything, but you know that you can actually put some squares in it if you wanted to. And you'll come up with something quite interesting. When I look at this, I see, some very nice shapes that I could do something with. If I turn it around to the camera that way, you can see something is developing here, which is very interesting. So those are our first exercises to start with, and you can play with that. Play with just the free drawing, play with the squares, play with the triangles and the circles, and see what occurs with you. So now we're going to do something with the drawings that we've done, and maybe you've done some more, so you can really go to town on this and experiment. But it's basically where the fun begins. Let me just show you a couple of examples of things that I've done to show you what kind of thing we can do. Here's one from a free drawing, and what I'm going to use is some charcoal, a marker pen, these are all in black, and obviously my Chinese marker, black crayon. So that's what I've used for these. And you can see, you can get some really interesting abstract pictures that you can then use as inspiration for paintings. So, and I'm going to show you all different ways of doing this, but the drawing is a very important start. In the early days, all the masters, they used to take at least a year drawing practice before they actually started painting, but we're not going to take that long. Probably going to take about 5 minutes on this one. But what I'm saying is, the more you practice this, freeing up and using these free drawings, the more confident you'll feel, and it'll start developing your own style. So I'm going to start this and show you, and then I'll speed it up to the end, but just to give you an idea how you can begin to look at your painting, your drawings, and find interesting things. Now, if I just turn this round to you, I've got kind of like a beautiful bird's head going on here. I might do something with that. There's sort of like the body coming down here. So there's interesting things that might develop, but I don't really have a preconceived idea. I'm just kind of, again, staying in the flow of it. So I'm just going to start with the charcoal. I like this line here, so I'm just going to follow through with this shape and just allowing it to really unfold itself and see what's going to happen. And obviously yours is going to be very different from mine, and that's the point. I don't want you to copy, I want this to inspire you to find your own way in it. And the more you play, and play is the operative word, because that keeps us in the right side of our brain. As soon as we get into judgment and, oh, you know, what's this about, and not sure what I'm doing, etc., then, you know, you fall into the wrong trap. So we want to kind of keep it as creative as possible and just stay loose and breathe and enjoy just seeing what the process will offer you. So, you know, I'm just going to keep drawing this and just let's see what's happening. And then as I'm going, once I've got my marks down that I really like, what I've enhanced, then I might swap to my black pen. Now this is again entirely up to you, how you feel, what takes you, what, you know, gives you the feeling to go in a direction. So you can see I can just enhance areas that I'm enjoying looking at. So I'm using the charcoal in many different ways, and as you can see I'm rubbing different areas with my finger, and this gives you lots of different possibilities, from going from very dark to very light, which obviously then gives you very interesting tone value in your drawing, that you can turn it into just a simple line drawing into a really fascinating abstract drawing. And this is what I love about doing these kind of things, because it's always very unexpected. You know, you never know what's going to actually appear on the paper. It's not, you know, thought out, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You really go with the flow of where the painting or the drawing wants to take you. So it's also very meditatory, you know, you get so absorbed in it. And that's the wonder of creativity, in my opinion. It's so different from doing anything, you know, like a landscape or trees or flowers, you know, still life, where you know what you're going to be representing. With this, it's representing something inside yourself, which you're exploring and discovering. So you can make it fascinating. Now here I'm just going over with some of the lines with the black marker. Again, you've got the distinction between the very dark and the going through the tones to the lighter tones. And you know, again, you can get so many fascinating effects to turn a simple line drawing into really quite a magical abstract drawing. And you know, you really discover something about yourself, and it's always, you know, to me it's always very, very exciting, because we just don't know where it's going to finish and what's going to occur in the drawing. So you can go on doing this for you know, as long as you like. But you know, you will find a time when it comes to its conclusion. Now what I've done here is I've sealed it. You can use a fixer. I've actually used hair lacquer, which is as good. So you can give that a spray, and then you can carry on top of it to as many layers as you like. So here's my finished picture, and you can see I've got lots of different layers on this. And interesting textures, because I've also gone back and used the China marker in it as well. You can see here. So fascinating things can happen. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this process, and if you did, please give me the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you've got any comments or questions, do leave them in the comments below. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.